Kris has guided me through spiritual, mental, and physical struggles. She has been and continues to be a beacon of light in my life.
Kris is one in a million. Compassionate, genuine, loyal, and truly the kindest person I know. She's a knowledgeable health and wellness professional practitioner. Her dedication to help others goes above and beyond, and I would not hesitate to recommend her.
Kris Hapgood is a true health professional. I've known Kris for several years and am so impressed with her passion for sharing cutting-edge health practices with her clients. Kris' background in the medical industry and her passion for using natural solutions makes her a unique health expert. I highly recommend Kris.
I believe people cross your path for a reason. The day Kris Hapgood walked into my office, I knew my life was getting ready to change. When doctors look at me like a lost cause for my autoimmune disease, Kris said she was going to help me. doTERRA gives me an energy that the medical professionals tell me I could never have. It's so exciting to continue this journey with such great support.
Kris has really helped with her essentials oils. I was having neck pain and was considering surgery. With the help of a chiropractor and her BB stick, I no longer have pain. I use her turmeric and deep blue polyphenol and I have no pain.
The gifts of fame. Speaker, author, and entrepreneur, Kris Hapgood RN is passionate about empowering others to make informed decisions about their health. She uses her voice to fulfill her life-driven purpose to uplift others, so they can feel whole and live their fullest life without regrets. Learn more by connecting on LinkedIn.
I highly recommend Kris Hapgood. She is an amazing professional, and you will love the training she's going to share with you. She has great solutions.
Hello, everyone. This is Kris, and I am so excited about our topic today. Today, we're going to be talking about sleep, and let's dive right in. So, some of you may be familiar with our wellness pyramid, and this is like kind of stair steps. But at the very important one, like we discussed last week, was our nutrition and our digestion. That is your most important one. As we move up the ladder, this is in order of importance. But today we're going to be talking about rest and managed sleep. So, really, you've got three needs for sleep. We've got to be eating well, we've got to be moving, and sleep. You think sleep should be so easy, right? Yes, it's so easy, but millions of us, millions all over the world, are having problems getting a good night's sleep. So, this is something that we need to be looking into. Why do you need sleep? You think about this. We are constantly on the go. We have to rush from meeting to meeting, to place. We got to get the kids here. We got to get the kids there. Oh, now we got to just cram in some fast food. Oh, now we got to go to another meeting. We have to go to this sport thing. It's just constant. And so if you're like me, several years ago, well, probably not that long, I was saying, oh, don't worry, Kris. You can burn the candles at both ends. It's not really going to affect. You can go like a week without sleep. It's not going to matter, blah, blah, blah. And then I used to say, well, when I die, I'll get lots of sleep. Wrong. This is something that you want to look at right now. And so, my personal experience, when I started getting more and more sleep, then I started realizing, wow, I just feel better. I've got more energy. But the other thing I noticed was the hormones were a little more balanced and my metabolism. It was like, wow, why do you feel a little thinner today? Why do you're kind of there's a few pounds less on the scale, the whole 9 yards. And I thought, what am I doing? And the only thing that I was doing is I was intentionally getting more sleep. So let's dive right on in. So this kind of leads to rest. It's like, well, how much, how important is that rest going to be? And you got to think about this. When we are not getting the sleep that we need, we actually have sleep deprivation. And what people do not realize is that when you sleep, so you think, well, it's just kind of a waste of time, isn't it? No, it isn't, because this is where your body literally is repairing and healing itself. This is people don't realize that when they sleep, their brain actually squeezes upon itself. It gets much smaller. And really, Chris? Why does it do that? It's actually squeezing out all of the toxins and the negative things. So if you're just not getting that deep sleep that you need, so your brain has this opportunity, can you imagine your brain's filled with toxins? We have all of this anxiety, this depression, we have negative thoughts because it can't get it out. So that's one of the things about sleep that really affects your brain. It also helps mend your blood vessels. It balances your hormones. It sets your metabolism into place. And it even, and this is the big thing, boosts your immune system. Yes, lack of sleep, your body cannot be building up the immune system. So what you need some good quality sleep so that your body can actually heal itself. So you're like, well, how much sleep do you really need? Well, you can look at here on the screen. Obviously, newborns and babies need lots of sleep. But as we get older, we need less sleep. Now, I want to really bring this up because especially like our school age and our adolescents, you look at this. How many school age children actually get like 11 hours of sleep every night? They probably don't. And then you go, why are they having problems remembering things? Why are they having problems in school? Why do we have behavior issues? Why are we so hyperactive? Because, again, they're not getting their sleep. Adolescents, these are our teenagers, okay? These are like, they just want to be up all night and they're sleeping in during in the day and look at this. They need 8 to 10 hours and they need to be on a regular schedule. But look at us adults. We need 7 to 8 hours. Now, some of you may say, oh, no, 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 no. I can get on. I can do fine with 4 to 5 hours of sleep. You might think you can, but inside your body it says, no, we can't. So, really, everyone needs between 7 and 8 hours of sleep. Now, some people may need like 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night. That's fine. But your minimum, so this is something that you go, well, I only get 5.5, 6 hours of sleep. This is something that you really might want to work on and just kind of keep it slowly, gradually bringing it up. Oh, I slept an extra 15 minutes today. I slept an extra 30 minutes to get this sleep back up to a consistent 7 hours every night. Now, as seniors, 60, 70, 80s, sometimes we get less sleep. So we sleep less, but it's still so important that we get a minimum of 7 hours of nice sleep. Okay? So now we're going to think about, oh, Kris, I have never heard of this term, sleep hygiene. What are you talking about here? Sleep hygiene actually refers to our healthy habits that's going and healthy behaviors and environmental factors that are actually going to affect your sleep. So what we need is we're going to go into detail, but we need like a consistent schedule. We need a routine. We need to do kind of the same thing. So our bodies are like, oh, okay, we're doing this, this, and this activity. So we must be starting to wind down. We've got to start winding down so that we can be going to sleep. That is what your sleep hygiene is talking about. Now, we've got to be consistent. Now, it doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to go to bed at 10 o'clock every night, 10 o'clock every night. Now, oh, it's now, oh my goodness, it's 10:15. I'm 15 minutes late. Da, 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 da. No, 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 no. You want to be consistent in okay, I'm going to be heading to bed because this is me at 10 o'clock. And then sometimes you're like, oh, I've got to go put that load of laundry in the dryer. Or, oh, I've got to make that one more text, or I need to do whatever I need to do. And then we kind of postpone it. It's like, oh, now it's like 11. That's okay. Don't beat yourself over the head with that. So just kind of be consistent. So it kind of gives you, you just don't want to go to bed one night, it's at 9 p.m., and then the next couple of nights not get to bed until midnight. And then the fourth night, you're at 10 o'clock. You're just all over the board. That is not what you want to do. You need to be consistent when we're saying within, like an hour's time. Okay. So does that kind of help there? Now, we need to set the mood. What is this, Kris? Well, this is a very fascinating thing. I want to tell you, we need to go back to like Mother Nature. We need to go back when we all lived in the forest and in a cave. You want to think about this. We have bright lights. We have bright lights in our house. Our body's like, oh my goodness, it's evening. Oh, it still must be daytime. All of that. We need to set the mood. So when the sun starts to set, we need to start dimming and lowering our lights. What? Yeah. Because then our body's like, oh, it's starting to get dark outside. It's getting darker here in the house. I got to start. And this starts triggering your melatonin, just dimming those lights. Oh, we're going to prepare ourselves to go to sleep. Sometimes set the mood is like I said, dim the lights, but then maybe it's like playing some soft music, some relaxing music. Maybe it's like let's see. Oh, turn on the fans. Maybe the white noise really helps people sleep. But and then when I'm setting the mood, what I'm doing is I'm doing like a very calming oil, like Serenity. And I'm like putting that in my hands, breathing it in, putting it on my neck. Okay. Now my body is breathing that in, and it's like, oh, we're starting to calm down because like the Serenity oil that we're going to be talking about today is our Restful blend. So this is already starting to set the mood. Okay. Set the mood. So avoid screens. We do not need to be on our screens and then like, oh, I'm going to be laying in bed watching my phone or reading a book on my phone, that kind of thing. Do not do that. So one of the things that I really recommend is maybe like at least an hour, if not two, before you go to bed, you're going to put that screen away. Now, I know that is going to be very hard. Some of you are like, no, that's non-negotiable, Kris. I don't think so. Well, you really need to think about that because when you're getting off all of that blue light from that phone, your brain is still majorly, it's just on fire. It is not going to go to sleep. One of the things that I recently started doing is around 9 o'clock at night, I just kind of turned the TV off. I turned my phone off. I was dimming the lights a little bit. And then that's when I was just like reading a book, or I was reflecting, meditating, praying. This is where I'm thinking of things that I was really grateful for that day. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of winding everything down and I'm putting positive things in my brain and in my heart and in my soul. So then when I go to bed, my soul is at rest. My brain is at rest. So you think about it, oh, we watch, some of the TV shows and there's murders and it's scary and blah blah blah, all of this stuff. And then it's like, okay, now I'm going to go to sleep. And then you hear a noise and you go, is that somebody in my house? And then there you go. So no. So just unwind, avoid the screens. This is like the best gift you can give yourself. We want to be moving daily. Now, okay, Kris, do I need to go out and jog 5 miles a day? No, I'm not saying that, but just getting out and moving a little bit more. Now, we don't want to like, okay, I'm going to go look like I'm going to be in CrossFit and run and be rolling up tires and doing pull-ups and all of that good stuff like, 30 minutes before I go to bed. Don't want to do any strenuous thing. But what's really nice, and this is what my husband and I sometimes do, and it's really wonderful. It's like maybe after dinner, and it's still light, and of course, now we're getting longer days, so this is nice. After dinner, we're just going to go and we go, let's go walk the dog. We don't have a dog. But what we do is we go and we just go for a short walk, maybe only 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And what we're doing is we're holding hands, we're connecting, we're talking to each other, we're communicating, we're appreciating our environment, we're appreciating the day around us. And this is just a nice way to kind of start unwinding. Again, this is just a nice stroll. So go walk the dog. Limit your stimulants. I know we're all about the caffeine in the morning, caffeine in the afternoon to keep me going, blah, blah, blah. That caffeine is really building up, and you really need to even look at some of like maybe some of the medications that you're taking in the evenings because sometimes those medications may have some caffeine. And then you go, why can't I go to sleep? Why doesn't my brain turn off? Because it may have some stimulants in it. So what I recommend is really no caffeine in the afternoons and thereon. So no, I know like my husband sometimes he goes, oh, I like to have coffee, after dinner. Well, we always make sure it's a decaf, but that kind of thing. And sometimes that helps him unwind, but it's up to individual people. Don't eat at bedtime. A lot of people, well, I won't say a lot, but some people may be guilty of this, having a heavy meal or a spicy meal. And it's like, oh man, it's so late. I had to eat late. I had all this stuff to do. And I ate that big spicy meal. And now I'm just going to, okay, 15 minutes later, I'm going to wash my face. Now I'm going to go to bed. And now your body, guess what? Our bodies are not multitaskers. No, 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 no. They can't. It can't do it. So what it does is like, okay, now we got to digest this food, and we're not going to rest and put our brain to rest and rest our body. No, we have got to digest the food. So now we're flopping and flipping in the bed. We now are having maybe some gas pain, heartburn, all of that because we're laying down. Our body's trying to digest that food. So really don't do that. If you can avoid that, do not do that. Do not eat right at bedtime. Again, like I said, we're going to be using our essential oils, and today we're going to be talking about Serenity. But like I said, sometimes I'll just breathe it in, put it on my neck, that kind of thing. But what people do not realize is like, yeah, okay, I'll diffuse it. Well, when you diffuse essential oils, you only need to put 3 or 4 drops in, not like 10 or 15. Okay, just 3 or 4 drops. And then when you're diffusing, say like when we're starting to wind down, okay, that is now we're doing aromatherapy. That is now reaching your brain and is telling your brain it's time to start turning things off. That sounds good. And what people don't realize is yes, if I would drink an essential oil, I get like 95% absorption. When I put it like on my skin, I'm gonna get like 90. Well, that's when I drink it, it's 95. When I put it on my skin, it's 90%. When I diffuse it, I'm getting 85% absorption. Well, you go, Kris, well, that's a lot less. And it's like, yes, it is, but it's how you get the most essential oils by diffusing. What? Because what you're doing is you're diffusing for many, 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 many hours. So your body overall is going to get a bigger dose of that essential oil, that for resting and calming and keeping my brain turned off so I can get some sleep. So I have a diffuser on my nightstand. My husband has a diffuser on his nightstand. He's usually got the breathe oil, eucalyptus, that kind of thing to keep his breathing, especially with all of the springtime and the allergies. But in mine, I have the Serenity. Sometimes I'll have adaptive in with the Serenity, so it really will help turn my brain off. So yes, we diffuse. So start diffusing your oils, okay? Even towards the evening. Do we want to like, oh, I'm just going to like start diffusing wild orange or I'm going to breathe in my peppermint? No, that's going to energize you. So find an oil that just really kind of melts you and relaxes you. That is the oil that you want to start putting on, breathing it in, start diffusing it in the evenings. That'll help wind your body down. So we're talking about the Serenity oil, right? Yes. And so this is, you see, look at all of these different types of oils. So yeah, if I just took lavender alone, lavender would be a great oil to help you sleep. But when we put it with this blend, all of these are very calming oils. And when you put this blend together, it is amazing. And you can kind of see, put a couple of drops like on your chest, on the bottoms of your feet, on the back of your neck. Sometimes you just put a drop or two of this Serenity on your pillow. Or a lot of times you can take this oil and put it like in a little spray bottle and spray down your sheets. Oh man, and crawl right into bed. This is amazing. One of the things, if you've got even small children, babies, small children, school age kids, I don't care who it is. This is amazing. This little tip would be so awesome. And if you can do this, make this a practice. This is probably the best gift I can give you today. At bedtime, then what you can do is you can just put like, just a drop of that Serenity oil or lavender, whatever, like in some lotion or liquid coconut oil. And you're going to take your child's foot or your baby's foot or your teenager's hand because they don't want you to mess with their feet. But what you want to do is when you are rubbing and massaging these feet or hands with that oil, how loving of a gesture is that? You're going to say, David, you were such a big boy today. I just love you so much. Yeah, it just meant the world to me when you helped me empty the dishwasher, when you went out and helped your daddy in the yard today. That was awesome. Or you did an amazing day at school today. You got all your work done. You did amazing on your tests. Now, as this child, teenager, adult, whatever, is hearing this, you're putting positive thoughts in their brain and in their heart and in their soul. And when they are sleeping, their body is going to retain that. And you think about any of us, we don't want to disappoint anybody. We want to leave a positive mark with others around us. So, guess what? What are we going to do? We're going to repeat those behaviors that got attention. The attention wasn't the negative stuff that we did, but it was the positive things. I also recently told a couple that they had a mother that came to live with them, and she was very anxious, especially at night when the sun started to go down. She would get anxious, and I said, you know what? This would be nice that one of you would be massaging her feet, one would be massaging her hands, and you just talk to her, and you maybe just talk about wonderful memories that you had, and you talk about how awesome and the gratitude that you have for a family as you're massaging in this oil. What is this senior going to remember? It's going to take her back to some of those memories. It's going to make her feel more rested. So this is something that you can definitely do for anybody and everybody. Also, we have this Serenity gel cap. It's a little tiny gel cap, and it's got, look at this blend of oils. And we can go and we can talk another hour on all of these different things, what they do. But this definitely, you're just going to take a little tiny gel cap, you take it, and it just really internally starts slowing everything down. So you can take one or two of these before you go to sleep. And you can start taking this like even like 30 minutes before. So this could be part of your bedtime, nighttime hygiene, right? Your sleep hygiene. So I'm going to start the diffuser going early. I'm going to take a Serenity gel cap. I'm going to just sit and just pray. I'm just going to relax and that kind of thing. That could be part of your sleep hygiene. The other thing is the Serenity stick, and it's got valerian root in it. This is a game changer, okay? So you can see it looks like a little deodorant stick, but this has got some of the essential oils in it plus valerian root. And you can put this on the back of your neck. I put this on the bottom of my big toes Why do you put it at the bottom of your big toes, Kris? Well, because that is the reflexology point to for my brain. So what I'm doing, I'm using this, I'm putting it at the bottoms of my big toes, and that is going to be a reflexology point to start turning the brain off. Then I also put it up and down the sole of my feet. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'll put a little bit on the back of my spine, on my back, and that kind of thing. So and so you go, okay, well, these all sound really good. Should we, just use one? And yes, you would get some, some progress with one, but this is meant to do a system. And doTERRA has done several studies on the Serenity sleep system. And what they discovered is that when they use the system, even when they just use the oil or they just use the gel caps or whatever, yes, people were sleeping better, their blood pressures were going down, their cortisol levels were going down, they were in better moods, they had more energy in the whole 9 yards. But when they put that whole entire system in place, oh my goodness, it totally changed everything. And when we're talking about epigenetics, that is affecting your DNA. Yes. What? So this sleep system can actually affect your DNA. And if you're like, well, we just never sleep in my family, we're always anxious. Guess what? You can break that cycle. You can change that by changing that DNA. So you can go on YouTube into doTERRA Science and you can see all kinds of stuff on what they have talked about on this sleep. So here's our sleep system. You're going to diffuse the oil. You're going to apply the stick to the bottoms of your feet, your back of your neck, your back, whatever, and you're going to take 1 to 2 Serenity soft gels. And then people are like, okay, I've got pets. We cannot diffuse oils around our pets. Yes, you can. Well, I should say, if it's a doTERRA essential oil, because we do know that that is a 100% pure oil. So you can talk to your vet. What oils can I diffuse around my dog or cat, or ferret or whatever it is, or what oils can and I cannot. And the big thing is you want to make sure, like I said, you're having a certified pure therapeutic grade oil. That's number one. But number two, you don't want to put them in a small room and they're locked in there and you're diffusing the soil. Then they can't get away from it. So that's not good. So you want to just have like an open door or something, a place where they can go and leave if they don't want that diffused oil. It's not a big deal. So now one of the things and like I said, my husband and I, we could be doTERRA poster children for the Serenity sleep system. And we were sleeping wonderful and getting a decent amount of sleep. But then recently we started using this patch. And this took it to a whole nother level. So I want to welcome, so this is going to be on the patch. And we've got several different testimonials related to the patch and in regards to sleep. But we do not treat or cure chronic illnesses or diseases. LifeWave Phototherapy patch do not heal, excuse me, do not heal or cure people. God designed the human body to heal itself, given the right conditions for the body to function at its optimal level. Consult your healthcare professional or doctor for any advice regarding treatments of sickness or illness. So this is this little phototherapy patch. You can see I'm wearing mine, okay? And it is activating my stem cells and we're going to talk about that. So people are like, oh, I've heard of the stem cells, but I don't really know what they are. Stem cells are the master cells in your body. And what people may not realize is, yeah, you are born with all the stem cells you really need. But by age of 30, 50% of your stem cells, they go dormant. You're like, what? They go dormant? They're going to sleep and I'm not able to sleep? Bingo. Yeah. Hello. And then at age 60, over 90% of your stem cells are dormant. Yeah. So when you think about this, it's like, why as I get older, it's getting harder and harder to get sleep? I'm just so tired. I have no vitality. Why does the senior citizens, like in their 80s, maybe start getting their days and nights? They're wandering around at night. They just don't know where they're at, that kind of thing. They're stem cells, okay? Their stem cells are sleeping. So the job of the stem cell literally is to naturally repair and renew, yes, repair and renew all the systems in the body. And like I said, these stem cells are located throughout the body and they're what we call undifferentiated, which means they're just sleeping. They just don't have a job at all. So then when we wake them up, we go, oh man, Chris's brain really needs some work. It's struggling. So they become a brain cell. Oh, Joe just broke a bone. Now we became a bone cell to go heal that bone. So what these stem cells literally can do is they replenish your dying cells, rejuvenate damaged tissue by entering the bloodstream, and they become those healthy cells that we need. So it's like, well, how does this X39 work? Whew, this is phenomenal. I want you to look at this. This is about a little bit bigger than a quarter, just a tad bit bigger than a quarter. And my body radiates off body heat. Yeah, everybody knows that. But and we think of that heat just as heat, but that heat actually comes out in the form of light, infrared light. And you're like, well, that's interesting. So you think if we're at night and we're in the dark and we use nighttime goggles, infrared goggles, what do we see? Oh, I see people and they've got reds and orange and yellow. That is the light that they are radiating off of their body. So what happens is this light, there's one frequency of light. David Schmidt, he is an inventor and a scientist. It took him, yes, 10 years to develop this. He knew that stem cells were dormant. He said, we got to wake up these stem cells. Through his research, he goes, to wake up the stem cells, then I need to activate this one particular copper peptide. One particular copper peptide. But this one particular copper peptide would only get stimulated, go to the brain and start waking up the stem cells if it had a certain frequency of light. So in this, you see, the little white circle. That is not medicine. That is nothing, okay? This is little tiny nanocrystals of like sugar and salt put in a beautiful kind of pattern. And what that's doing is that is now that's sitting there. It's reflecting back into the body. So a form of phototherapy, that light, that one frequency of light back into the body to activate, yes, activate that copper peptide to go wake up the stem cells. There are no medicines, no chemicals, no stimulants in this. Yes, there are other patches out there that have those kind of things. The X39 does not. It is non-invasive. And when I say non-invasive, that means that this is a non-transdermal. Nothing is going through my skin. It's only reflecting back the light that it already reflected out. So it's like, well, what is the benefits of this wonderful miracle patch? Well, you're going to increase your strength. You're going to reduce inflammation, increase stamina, do energy and vitality, mental clarity, restore muscles or skeletal conditions, improvement in sleep. And when people start putting this X39 patch on, usually within the first 3-4 nights, they go, whoa, I am sleeping so much deeper. And so my husband and I, within just a couple of days of using this, some people noticed the first night, but even with the first couple of days, because we were sleeping good, right? We were. But it took it to a whole nother level. Um, our our sleep got such better quality. We were dreaming very pleasant dreams. In the morning, you could remember your dreams. So I want you to think, when was the last time you dreamed? Did you remember that dream? Was it a pleasant dream? So this had us experience that. I know that when I woke up in the morning, I would be, oh my goodness, I feel so rested. My body feels amazing. And then I'm like, okay, Kris, what day of the week is it? You slept that deep. My husband, if he was here, he would say, "Oh, I woke up, I had drool on my pillow. I've never slept deeper." My husband usually gets up like at 4 in the morning. His alarm's turned on for around, 4:30, and he would always get up before 4. And he would be going to the bathroom at least 3, 4 times in the middle of the night, and he would always fall back asleep, but he was still getting up. When he started using this patch, and I've noticed this too, is we are not having the bathroom frequencies in the middle of the night. And he goes, "Well, honey, I'm not getting up and going to the bathroom." And then guess what? Now the alarm is going off at 4:30. He's in a deep sleep. That alarm's going off for like 15 seconds and he's slapping everything around. He doesn't know where he's at. This is because we are in such a deep sleep. So, one of the other testimonials, I brought it up and it was like, wow. And this is from Mary. Mary says, "I have never slept like a baby before." This patch is amazing. Let's look at the next one is from Lacey. Lacey has a 15-year-old daughter, and her daughter had, I should say, cystic fibrosis and never slept more than 1 to 2 hours a night. That was it. Because she would have to be waking up like every hour, coughing with all of that thick mucus on her lungs. And the first night that they put this on her, she slept 8 hours straight. 8 hours straight. So, again, this just really activates a improvement in sleep. Also, this improves skin appearance. Yeah, this is pretty amazing. I mean, my skin I thought looked great all the time. And I remember just a couple of weeks ago, I was looking at my arms and I'm like, yeah, I got all this skin, these age spots. Well, when they all connect, I'll just have a really pretty tan, right? And so it was just this week when I was getting ready for bed at night. I had, of course, the lights all very low, and even in the bathroom, and I was putting on my pajamas. And then I was like, wait, why am I lily white? And I turned the light up a little bit, and that's when I noticed that my age spots are like disappearing. They're fading. So this is pretty cool. So anyway, so this X39, so this is a key also to achieve optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Very, very, very important. So how do you wear the patch? You put it anywhere you want it. Anywhere you want it. We just say put it where you hurt, whatever. Put the patch where you hurt. You only wear this patch for only 12 hours a day. That's it. After 12 hours, I take it off, I throw it away. What I do now is I take my used patches and I put them in a airtight jar and I take them down to the barn and I patch my horses with them. Um, and they're doing amazing. They're really feeling good. You can patch your dogs, you can patch your chickens, whatever. So you can use so I don't believe in throwing really anything away, so I reuse mine. The key is you definitely want to stay hydrated with quality electrolytes. So one of the only electrolyte that I use is from doterra, and that is called Recharge, and it is a totally different electrolyte, and so it is amazing. So I want to show another results. This is on a 77-year-old woman. She was put on the X39 on the back of her neck. Now, they've had over 70 clinical studies on this patch. This patch has multiple patents on it. So if you get a patent, you have to prove what you say this patch is going to do. You have to have proof. So there's over 70 clinical studies that prove this, okay? So this lady is 77 years old, and I want you to look here at session 1. She has not had the X39 on her. Look at what we call lack of brain coherence. Now, when we say lack of brain coherence, that means nothing is connecting. There's lots of brain fog. The brain is not communicating the right to the left side. So look at all of that inflammation with the red, the orange, the yellow, okay? Not good. Now, this is session 2. She's only been 3 weeks on this X39. Look at this. No more inflammation. Where did that red go? Improved brain coherence. So the brain is starting to gel. The brain is starting to connect and communicate. Here we have session 3. Session 3 is 6 weeks on this X39. Complete, look at this, complete turnaround, better brain coherence. So you can see the difference in just 6 weeks on this patch versus no patch. So it's like, oh my goodness, well, I need to look into this. I know several people that could definitely be using this. What you do is I would love to help you get these patches at wholesale prices. And so it starts, we have 3 different kits. Our first kit is called Core. Core is just a sleeve, and this is the sleeve, and it has 30 patches in it. So it's a month's supply. Yeah. Okay, so with this, you get 3 months supply, 3 sleeves of this X39. And it's going to be a 3-month supply, and it's only $295. Ladies and gentlemen, this patch will cost you $3.30 a day. Let me repeat that. This patch only costs $3.30 a day. Are you not worth the investment in your health? Think about all the other money you spend on stimulants, you spend on melatonins and all of that good stuff. No, this. Your body can heal itself. The next uh, package kit is called the Advanced, and this is going to be 6 of these sleeves, so it'll be 6 months worth. And you're like, whoa, but look at the price, it's only $535. So you're definitely saving more money. So people are like, well, what? Well, this is going to be like a husband and a wife, maybe even a child in the home, whatever, a mother-in-law that's living with them, a father-in-law, whatever they want to share. They want to start patching their family. This would be a good kit to get into. Our biggest kit is called Premium. Yes, Premium. And this has got 20 sleeves. 20 sleeves. You're like, whoa, you could like patch the whole town with that. Well, yes, you probably could. But that investment is only $1,750. So when you think about, hey, and this is usually for entrepreneurs that really want to start their own business. So it's like, I'm going to be patching my family, my whole entire family. I want to have extra patches. So then when I get Cindy signed up, today, I'm going to start her on her patches, get her enrolled in the system. Then what I'm doing is I'm giving her a sleeve of unopened patches and say, Cindy, your patches should be coming here in the next few days. I want you to start patching today. And then when her patches come in, then she just returns, gives her one of her unopened patches back to you, so you have that in your stock. So this is so important. And again, it's like, well, oh, this sounds good. You want to have a nurse of 32 years. I am an expert on the essential oils and on the supplements of doTERRA. I'm also very involved and getting to be an expert on this X39. So instead of just throwing a dart, hoping you're going to hit that dartboard, stop going and Googling all your symptoms. Oh my goodness, I must have da 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 da. And da da da. Stop the guesswork? Yeah, I want you to think about how much time and how much money you have invested in trying to figure out your health or somebody in your family's health. Work with a nurse and let me give you the solutions. I've got them. So I want you to think about this. Take a screenshot of this. I really want you to think about this today. So tonight, like when you're like preparing your sleep hygiene and you're starting to unwind, I want you to start looking at some of these questions. What are your needs? What are your needs? Has anyone really listened to what you're saying or feeling? What would be the perfect day look like to you? What would you do? How would you feel? It's time that you start to live the life that you want to live without any regrets. So, again, let me help you address these root causes. Let's stop addressing the symptoms. Let's go with the root causes so the symptoms will go away and you can reclaim your life. Are you ready to see your own results? If that answer is yes, then you need to get with me and let me help you. Okay? And so I want you to scan this. This is an ebook that I wrote on the stem cells and the stem cell technology. So this is free for you to have. So all you got to do is scan it, fill out the little form, and you'll get your ebook that way. Also, we're going in the description. We just finished a wonderful new website on the patch. And I've got like selected testimonials. You're going to see all kinds of stuff. You're going to see the science. I'm going to provide all of the deeper dives. So if some of you are like, oh, I want the deep dive into the science, it's there. Oh, I just want to see a short little couple of testimonial videos. It's there. So this is a wonderful way that you can be doing that. Okay. So let me know if I need to help you with anything and how I can help you and your family. I'm ready to partner. You're ready to work with a nurse. Are you ready to get better sleep? Are you ready to have restorative sleep where you've got all of this energy? The brain fog is lifted. You no longer have all of these discomforts. You can't do the things that you want to do. You can't get on the floor and play with your children or your grandchildren. You can't go outside and work in your yard. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So, reclaim your life. Lock arms with me and let's do this together. You have a very blessed day and put any questions that you might have in the comments and anything else that I can help you with. You can also say, hey, you can leave a message. Hey, Kris, contact me. I'd like a one-on-one with you. I'd like to kind of know a game plan, and I can definitely help you with that. So let's take the guesswork out. Okay? And everyone, you have a very blessed day, and we will hopefully see you soon. And again, next Thursday, I'll be back at noon, and we'll talk about a whole nother topic. See you then.